Greetings, fellow humans. My name is Flailbot. Welcome to episode 9 of New World, New Problems. This is the final episode, as far as we know, of the mini campaign. If anyone wants some more campaign episodes, then just say, no, I want more campaign episodes. And I'll say, okay, fine, whatever. That sounds great. I love playing video games, so you didn't have to convince me. Went ahead and built the rest of those buildings just to get rid of the little notifications. we had 90,000 money dollars, so no real strain on our money, on our finances. We are going to try to recruit these armies.
It is for the best.
You are going to... I'm going to toss these pistoliers. And what do I have? I have flanky guy, speed 42. Heck yeah. And I have Al Mukhtar's Desert Dogs, so I need to clear up 2 spaces. Well, 1 space actually. I'm thinking we're gonna get rid of maybe one of our Sartosan pirates. Let's merge them, and we'll just chuck one of them. Because we need anti-large. I may replace the Spearmen with shields with something a little bit more, you know, high tier. Specifically, Halberdier type units. But we'll see.
The Empire.
Now, go over there.
To strengthen the Empire.
Yeah. And you can drop those off next turn. Go ahead and upgrade that. We will... Oh! They did just burn it down. Okie dokie. Well, we'll settle our troops. And then next turn we'll head them back to the Fallen Gates where the recovery rate is better because this casualty replenishment rate penalty isn't there. Chodex Causeway exists, so we will repair it. I guess we'll keep that. There's no real... not really suffering for cash, in case no one noticed. Good. Unai, your days of sailing the open seas are over. So, these guys are great frontliners, right? Good melee attack, good melee defense, good armor, good shield. And is this an accurate assessment of the situation? Okay, they're slightly better. Why are they only slightly better for double? I guess they hold much better because they have way better armor. Alright. We'll take them. We're going to take... 2 Empire Knights, or Broken Lances, whatever you want to call them. 3... 3 arrows, 2 adventurers, 2 greatswords, 3 swashbucklers, 3 Sartosan pirates. So this is a fat front line, right? We have 2 adventurers plus 6 shooter units with the greatswords in back. Try not to eat too much enemy fire. Cav for flanking. We still can't actually recruit any artillery. And then we're going to want some anti-large. And since we have lots of nice frontline units, we're going to take the... what are pikemen? Tell me about pikemen versus halberdiers again for the millionth time. Halberdiers have slightly more hit points, way less armor, slightly better leadership, better melee defense. This weapon strength is armor piercing. So these halberdiers, I'm just going to grab 2 of them. And they're going to be kind of like, sort of like greatswords. They're going to fill up the same role. They're going to stand behind the front line and go where they're needed. We're going to get a hero for our... Oh, nice. definitely pick up Disciplined. That's pretty great. One nice thing about the wizards, just in general, for Empire also, obviously, is a boost income thing, means that they cover their own costs. And since you're playing, since when you are playing Empire, you have 6 lores of magic, you can just go through them every turn and look to see if someone's come up who gives you a faction-wide bonus. Or, if you can find one that's noble, that is a bonus to plus 10% income from all buildings or something. So in one of my Empire games, I have like 3 wizards who are just doodling about in Reichland because they all have boost income from this, and they all have noble or something like that. So the income in Reichland is like almost 10,000, and they pay for themselves relatively quickly. The upkeep for a Bright Wizard is something like 250, 265. The boost income by 5%, so you need at least 5,000 income-ish to cover them. But then as soon as you start putting skill points in here, right, so boost income an additional 6%, so that's 11%, so you only need like 2,500 income in a region to cover them if you can recruit them at rank 10. Obviously that's a little bit difficult. But then with the Noble Blood thing, the Noble trait, you automatically have to have plus 10% income from buildings, which that's where all your income comes from. So you really only need something like, what is it? If you recruit them with 5% plus 15% income boost, you only need something like 2,000 to make them worthwhile. And then you just stick them all in one region and pow pow pow, you have this massive profitable region and you've got wizards standing around. Okay, we are going to do this fight soonish. You're going to go up to the Fallen Gates and hang out, and then we're going to recruit the armies for Unai here, 6 turns. And over here, yeah, we could give him a mortar. Why not? We'll move him over there. He'll move to the Ziggurat Harbor once he's done. And do the same thing with what's his name? I don't know, the other guy who doesn't have an army will put in Ziggurat Harbor for 5 turns, recruiting units that he can't get from Settlers Coast. And he'll level them up as well, which will be good. Unfortunately, the faction Followers of Nagash has melted. Just come up here. You're not reinforcements yet. Maybe a little bit closer. There we go. Yeah, and we're just gonna auto-resolve this because I don't like sieges. Oh no, Skaven Denial. Wait, didn't they already have Skaven Denial? Huh. I wonder if these guys have, like, if the mod removed Skaven Denial for some reason. I would approve, because I think it's a bit silly, but okay, you're full, but you want 2 horsemans, so we're going to toss 2 Sartosan pirates, right? Maybe 1 crossbowman and 1 Sartosan pirate.
Yes, my lord.
So then let's take the lowest rank guys, we will merge them, merge, boot,
Now,
and you guys are all the same rank, so merge,
who calls?
boot,
What does the Emperor bid? Pick up the pace.
give you their
Yes, a sound clear.
speed move to the Ziggurat,
Let us move.
and then
Onwards
you can recruit things. Maybe don't speed move next turn.
to strengthen the Empire.
And you have lost all your movement points, that's okay. We were going for Pecunia. Not Ole. Or however you pronounce that. And we want you to be a fancy tank, so more Blade Shield. Your Castra didn't level. We've got a nice fat 20 stack. plus 10 next turn because the corruption goes away, the conquest goes away, and corruption is plummeting to 0. So this looks like it's a done deal. Embed our wizard. Commandment available in the Forest of the Viper. We will get rid of this because we don't have... Ooh! Only one of the 2 ritual artifact chains can be constructed. A tablet digging site makes people hate me, but generates 500 money. A tablet's recovery site makes people like me and generates a bunch of tradable goods. Heck, I'm happy to take this strange and wonderful recovery site. That seems nice. As for commandments, let's go ahead and do... public order is not going to be a problem for very long, assuming we build any public order buildings. Mirror Pool, unfortunately, does not have a harbor. Correct. So no Conquistadors Beachhead, meaning public order building can be the next thing we build, assuming we need it. Let's go income from trade faction wide. Gorka leveled. Step 1 Root Marcher. Someone upgrade available. Ooh, Axolotl's growing to be all fancy. That's nice. 8 turns. Holy cowsy wowsies. Okay, and make some more money there. That's it. You there. You can become an Archlector or a Spy Master. Oh, you know, he's in our home province. So let's stick him, I guess, as the Spy Master. No. We have to boot him first, then reassign him, and then Gorka can be a treasurer. Dude, easy peasy. Boom. I'm excited about Total War Saga, Thrones of Britannia, or whatever it's called, because I was reading about their intention to decentralize the recruitment process, which sounds really good because the like time frame for movement in this game is really, it doesn't quite match up with each turn is like a really long amount of time in universe. But if I want to recruit an army, then instead of like mustering guys and marching them, you know, to the front lines, I have to bring my army back and then recruit them. It doesn't make sense to bring an entire army back in order to, you know, trade up my broken lances for whatever, or trade my lancers for broken lances. Why would you? That doesn't sound like an upgrade. So there's a little bit of a disconnect there in the way that the times sort of work out. Like, why would I spend 4 turns bringing my entire army back, and then spend 3 turns recruiting and then go back? But if you recruit globally, then you're paying these massive stacks of cash. So I think that the levying your units and just sending them to where they need to be without having 2 separate global and local recruitments makes sense. Just make all the recruitment take longer. Easy peasy. Still have no idea how to use Paymaster bodyguards. Oh well. I was looking at the Broken Lances versus the Lancers over here, comparing them. Looks like the Broken Lances are going to eat 35% more, or 30% more, 30% more small arms. They're also going to take significantly less damage because their armor is significantly higher. But they're slower, but these guys are gonna crush face with their high charge bonus and solid melee attack and decent melee strength. So they're definitely the better ones. Of course, the Noble Retinue, I guess, are the best. Anti-large as well. Okay. Just sort of theorizing as we're nearing the end of our mini campaign about what sorts of things these particular units are designed to do or how they best fit into an army. We're going to grab Accusation of our Witch Hunter. His job is pretty much exclusively single target damage, so grabbing Accusation means we can put that on a big tough enemy or put it on a small unit of cav or something that are causing us trouble. Kind of need to keep these guys around just to keep the peace. So I'm thinking that that's what we're gonna. Is that what we're gonna do? Alternately, we can just collect money and deal with peace later. Let's wait. We'll wait one more turn.
Ready. This will bolster the nation.
Wait, who leveled? You did. Another 5 melee defense seems like a great idea. Okay. You guys are waiting. You're recruiting. You're waiting. You're recruiting. Pike infantry. So we're going to recruit kind of similar to what we did in the other place, except we're going to have a whole mortar, or maybe two. Probably we could have one mortar and one of those cannons, so you can anti-large and anti-other things. 3 of those guys, 3 Stratosans, 3 Swashbucklers. That kind of looks like all we're going to want to recruit here, right? Riders can bite me. And I guess if we're going to have a lower quality army, we can grab Spearman. And then we can pull him down here and pick up Broken Lances as well as Great Swords slash... what are they called? Well, Halberdiers, probably don't need Halberdiers if we're going to have a Spearman. Okay, one more turn of twiddling our thumbs in our newest province. Then we're going to grab a bunch of loot and send our 2 primary armies down here, I'd say, to take out this region. These 2 armies are going to... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It'd be nice if there were things to settle with green climate instead of not green climate. I mean, I could theoretically just decide that I don't like elves anymore and go steal all their provinces, but it's our trade income anyway, 5,000. That's quite a bit. That's a pretty robust province we'd have to replace, or we'd have to acquire in order to make up for that trade loss if we lose, if all the elves dislike us. And if we start conquering their island, they're probably not going to like us very much. It'll be like reverse colonialism. They said they established this colony over here, right? Oh wait, where's the... One of these has the little elven colony symbol, right? And then it's going to be, oh, well, this is now a human colony. Your whole island. David leveled again. Nice work, David. Let's see, 18 for the area of effect. Probably pretty good. I bet we could hit like 2 or 3 enemies with that. Alternately, cooldown reduction, winds of magic cost reduction for Foz protection. Let's start there. Foz protection seems more generically useful. That of Emmentalk seems like you're going to want to save it for elite units anyway, and that means single target's going to have to be good enough. Nice! Sunken treasure ship means more money and more experience. Scribe means more campaign movement speed, so we are going to pick up that scribe. And we are going to move, now that I remember. Could have done this 4 turns ago. We're gonna move. Yeah, burger, fine. Where are you? Tollkeeper, yes. And Woodsman to Settlers Coast, which is our highest income province, right? Yeah. And we will put.
To the provinces.
That doesn't really matter. See, we can put the Untainted guy here, but it'll be alright. Would it be faster to go this way? Oh, it's not a harbor. It's like, why is it so hard to get out of the port?
So, by Sigma's
Go
right.
to what are you doing?
Yes.
Go to that thing. There you go. Got on his boat. Alright, forests, upgrade that. Jungles, upgrade that. Boom, El Cadabo leveled again. Oh, so many fancy skills. This guy has a cool cucumber. Dirty tactics. Everyone gets dirty fighting. Come on, that's so cool. Or everyone gets pew 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 pew. He's just a really potent legendary lord. That's one thing I definitely like about this particular mod, is that everything feels much weightier. Like, I'm excited to get some of these techs. I'm excited to get some of these legendary skills, which is great. That's the kind of feeling you want to have. Can I recruit any other heroes yet? Just some more Empire captains. Oh, no more battle wizards. Alright. Kinda wanna see what the warrior priest looks like. Oh, but I never got around to building. Never got around to building a temple. Or I did, and that's only rank 3 instead of rank 4. Or tier 3 instead of tier 4, whatever. Those poor Tomb Kings stuck on their silly island with terrible habitability. Alright, we've finished constructing a clothier. We'll upgrade the Monument of the Sun so that we can upgrade the public order building, just in case. Just in case troubles occur. El Cadabo is going to snag this hidden treasure. He's going to grab the sunken chest. That's good news. Upkeep -10 for all units. See, it says all units, right? You'd think that all units would mean all units, but it means all units in this guy's army. Not bad. Saves us 400 money a turn, but not exactly fitting with its description. Okay. We don't really care about these super terrible climate habitability places up here. We kind of want to be friends with these guys. Can we be friends with you? You literally hate us. You think we are the worst humans on the planet, which is understandable. Cause reasons.
I will marshal the men.
One more turn of recruiting here. 4 more turns of recruiting here.
Ready.
It's okay, we'll send him up there to pick up his cannon. Or his mortar. Probably his cannon. I don't think infantry is really going to be a problem with this particular army. Got a lot of bullets and stuff. Yeah, and you want to grab that. A scroll of leeching. Yeah. Right, and we will send you... Guess we'll send you back to... I guess he's gonna twiddle his thumbs in case we get attacked from the north. Seems like the thing to do. He's gonna do a holding action, or he's gonna be a garrison up here. Why not? So I tried yet another campaign as Tretch Craventail the other day. Or the other day being, I think, today. And I do not have a good understanding of what the heck, how the heck Skaven armies are supposed to work. Like, it's clear, I'm clearly missing something. I build the army and then that's funny. It's oh no, it's gonna say I can build something forever there, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay. I build the army and then I send it into battle. You know, it's got a lot of Skaven slaves and stuff in it because that's what they do. But then it just doesn't quite work. Like I've got early on, you have only slingers and clan rats. So you have like the most basic melee units available and the most basic terrible ranged units. And your terrible ranged units are semi not terrible melee units as well, but it doesn't quite. It doesn't work. Like my clan rats smash into the enemy and are worthless. I just don't do anything useful. I lost a battle the other day against like a basic tier 1 army of dark elves. They all just stood there. The two lines crashed into each other. I flanked around as best I could, but nothing happened. The death runners that you get in with Tretch, like in his core army when you start, are amazing. Minus 50% armor, I think. So you just kind of wait for the lines to engage and then they flank around. And I get that. It's just when all you have is clan rats, it doesn't feel like there's any flanking around. At least not very effectively. I think it probably has something to do with my inelegant handling of charging the lines. I want that cannon. I don't want... Oh, we still have to wait a zillion more turns before we can actually recruit a cannon. Should I just get a second mortar then? Okay. I'm gonna get you real close and see if this whole army gains experience or not. That's something I'm curious to learn. Oh, and you only get one thing because I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a pretty big front line. Ah, well, okay.
Who calls?
You there. I call. You an experience. Required for next rank 900. Required for next rank 300. Okay, so we'll look at these two guys. They're identical. They both require 900, and these guys both require 300. So we'll see if they count as a local army for this effect. I'm assuming local armies means armies in the region, but one can never be overly certain. You can't be built because you require docks. You could theoretically be built, and I could theoretically get Templar, but there is no corruption here to actually bother with. This building chain is terrible. If you don't have any corruption. Ooh, what's that? What? Marble and dye improvements? Dude. I'll take 2. What? Do I not have marble anywhere else? Or dye, I guess? What are you, medicinal plants? Your iron and your spooky masks? Huh. What are you? Exotic animals. Your wine. More marble. So if I took this place, then I could build that cool building? Ah, fancy. There was something. I thought I read something about that in the description of the mod, where it talked about how
Yes, my lord.
the New World colonies would be able to take better advantage of trade because they had special trade buildings, and I thought that was just like, you know, your resource building when you go here and say build a mason or a quarry or whatever. Would not appear to be the case. I wonder if I missed out on any other cool fancy buildings like here. I haven't gotten there yet, but wait, where is this point cork? Oh yeah, there you go, dies. So I'd probably trash the clothier, even though it makes a boatload of money. Wait, why do I trash the clothier? I can just build this. I wouldn't get this guy, but that's okay. It's only a 3 province. A 3 settlement province anyway.
I will marshal the bed.
Marcelo. Oh, why there's loots everywhere. Hey, what's that? Public order's doing fine. And now it's only -7.
To strengthen the empire.
Oh, public order from characters things turned out to be pretty important. So, overall, super interesting faction. Seems to be some sort of finicky parts with it. Just not quite sure what the elite armies are supposed to look like. I suppose that's similar to Empire, though. Empire, your top tier infantry are just your great swords, and then you have some basic.
What does the emperor bid?
Cav, Empire Knights, and Reichsguard. You have some
Sigmar compels
some
us.
basic ranged units, armor piercing and not. You have some
Raise Sigmar.
straightforward everything.
Onwards.
The thing that's weird for me about this faction is you have crossbows and handgunners, which are like the defining feature, and then you have Pavis crossbowmen, which are like the defining feature of the ranged units of the Empire. But then you also have these guys with pistols, which seems like they're not really ranged units, but it seems like that's the thing you would take out, would be the crossbowmen and the gunners, and then just leave the range damage to your Sartosan pirates and your swashbucklers in order to give it sort of a different feel. And then you've got I love the idea of adventurers being like upgraded versions of the swordsman that come with, you know, potentially more interesting tech bonuses or whatever you can get. What is this here? You get much better bonuses for the adventurers than you do for the swordsman. There are in fact no bonuses for swordsmen here in the tech. So something like the experience gain, the leadership bonus for, oh no, that's not for them, it's here. Leadership bonus for the adventurers, that's cool. And then here, the bonus versus large, which makes them more multi-purpose, even if they're not going to be as good as the pikemen. It's weird to me that the pikemen and halberdiers are both there. It seems like they should probably toss one of them, especially since the halberdiers show up absolutely nowhere, as far as I can tell, in any of these texts. And they definitely need to work. I guess Kataf as a single person needs to work on smashing these groups into the unit types into tighter knit groups. So for example, I don't know where is this thing with the scouts and the militia? What is it? There you go. So it says experience for adventurers, riders, royal guards. So that's 3 single unit types. Then lancers units, right? Which I guess is lancers and broken lances and potentially noblemen. I mean, it says shock cavalry, it doesn't say lancers units, right? But the other ones are called lancers, so one must assume. Bloop, 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 bloop. Those guys. I assume that this applies to lancers and broken lances, and then again, no retinue. And then what else do you have? Pikemen, right? So that's a single unit again. Republican Guard, that's a unit we also don't have. Carabiniers, we don't have those either, and that's units, so that must be another group of things. Militias, no idea what that is. Rangers and Scout unit recruits, no idea. what rangers and scouts are. If they are rangers as in dwarven auxiliary units, great. Kind of confusing. If there's something else, well, I don't know it. So there needs to be a little bit of work here, especially since this is a different tech tree than the other that Tilia or Estalia is. I looked at them. So I don't understand why this refers to a bunch of units we don't have. Like, we just don't have carabiners, right? Unless... The only other thing I can think of is that this guy, right? The Republican Bard Guard here. That applies. Or here, the Knights of Origo or something fall under some other category. Or the Marksmen of Miragliano or something. Or one of these other unit types. But then it just... They don't need to be the other unit type. They need to be some core unit type you have, so that this recruit to veterans thing is just +3 experience for everyone, except I don't know, except great swordsmen apparently. It's strange. So it's cool. There's a lack of communication about exactly what some of these things do. That's pretty standard when it comes to these categorizations in Total War, though. So. Not a problem only for Kataf's thing. It's a classic. Again, I love the best of the worst. I wish we'd gotten around getting it, but we only would have needed 60 more turns of research. Coolest thing would be is repurposing these low-level units. It's weird to me that some of it is for high-tier units and some of it's for low-tier units, but I don't know what the design purpose there was, so... Hard to say. Regardless, next mini campaign is definitely going to be Norse Dwarfs, also by Kataf. I've tried it a couple times, and I'll report back. It's pretty brutal. We'll see if it works out. We may just lose horribly. Anyway, comment, like, subscribe, or whatever. That's the thing that people do. If you want to see more of this particular campaign, then just ask me. I'm happy to do it. I've been Flailbot, and this is episode 9, New World, New Problems, Capstone. We have a lovely Ismuth. Take that, Lizardman. See you guys next time.